Let us further elaborate the concept of numerical data scaling method or feature transformation. Both normalization and standardization, although we haven't discussed about the standardization yet, we will discuss it in the next video, but both of these process can be achieved using this library, scikit-learn library. Now let us take a closer look at each of these one by one. First of all, let us understand data normalization, then we will talk about standardization. Both of these concepts are quite similar. Both of them are used for the case of data scaling method, or it is just a feature transformation method. We studied why it was important, because doing this we can enhance our machine learning algorithm performance. So if you want higher accurate model, we can use this concept into your input data. So that means it is a kind of a pre-processing step, that is making your data much more cleaner, or transforming your data into the form that will make our machine learning model to learn in a better way or to achieve better performance. Now let us start with data normalization. So normalization is a rescaling of a data. So we have a data and we rescale it from the original range so that all the values are within the new range of 0 and 1. We have been discussing this. Only the difference between normalization and standardization is the range, and obviously the formula they use to create that range. So in the case of normalization, we will have our data from 0 to 1. In the case of standardization, it's up to you. You can create your own range. In the case of standardization, it can be -1 to 1, maybe -5 to 5. It's up to you. Normalization requires that you know or are able to accurately estimate the minimum and maximum observed value. So this is the thing you should know, minimum and maximum. Using this value, you can create the normalized value for your input data. So simple example is right here. We have already discussed this formula. So we subtract with the mean and divide it with max minus mean, where this minimum and maximum value pertain to the value x that is being normalized. So for instance, let us take the example for our data set, and we could have guess estimate like this minimum and maximum value. For our case, the maximum value is 30 and the minimum value is -10. So we found this from our data set. This is a max and this is a mean. Now after finding this maximum and minimum value, we can now normalize any value. Let's say we want to normalize 18.8. So what is the formula? Here is a formula. So you take that value that needs to be normalized, in our case that is 18.8, and subtract it with mean. So what is mean here? So -10 is a mean. So -10, subtract it with the minimum and divide by max minus mean. So what is max? Is 30, and what is mean? Mean is -10. So doing this, you will get this value, which is calculated right here, which is 0.72, and this value you can clearly see it is within 0 to 1 range. So this way we can normalize our data.